I think for almost 2 of those years, it hasn't been drivable. We also do have a special tool somewhere. It was a lot of work, but we got it done, and I know the client's going to be super happy.
And that is why I don't understand the conversions. Now we're ready for the best part.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to DC Motorwerks. We are in the shop today with this beautiful 2009 LP640 Roadster, so another Murcielago. We love Murcielagos here at DC Motorwerks, and this one is actually down from a buddy I met at a cannonball event up in Ohio. Not like an actual cannonball event, but a car show including cannonball cars. But he had 2 Lamborghinis there. He has a Gallardo and this LP640 Roadster in a very nice stealthy black. We talked for a while, and he said how he's had a lot of issues with this car and getting it to shift and so forth, and we exchanged numbers and stayed in touch, and it was actually at a shop up there in Ohio for a while. It's actually been, I think he said almost 3 years he's had this car, and I think for almost 2 of those years it hasn't been drivable. So they put all the new clutch and everything and so forth in. They rebuilt the actuator, which we won't get into detail on that. You know, I think you all know how I feel about rebuilt stuff, especially on Lamborghinis, and the level of work that is required if it's not right. Even after he had all that done, it worked for a little while, and then it started having shifting issues again. So he took it back, and they had the engine out again. They replaced the potentiometers for the gear positions, and then it wouldn't shift at all. And they messed with it for a good while there, and eventually the owner gave up and decided to bring it down here to Georgia. Other shop is completely reputable, and they are great people. I've talked to them and tried helping them before they sent it down here. But they just don't quite have all the tooling and everything like we do here to properly get this figured out. So he brought it here instead. Here we are. You can see kind of what we're doing here is we have the side case of the transmission removed. Again, kind of what I'll point out here is a difficulty of access, is that all of this stuff is tucked up against the body of the car when it's installed. And so you don't have access to any of this stuff when it's in the car. So if anything goes wrong, you have to pull it all back out again. It's a lot of labor, so that's why we like, you know, original clutches and keep everything original as it was designed from the factory, especially with e-gear, because they were set up, and all the software and everything was set up for all of these components to work a particular way. So when you start changing things, or, you know, rebuilding things, and tolerances may change and that sort of thing, things can go badly very quickly. And that's like this one. He's been down for 2 years, and he's just super frustrated. He's had to put a lot of money into it. You know, the engine's been out 3 times now, and wanted to get it right. So what we're doing here is, first of all, what we found was in the actuator there, which this is a new one here from Lamborghini, and it is actually, from what we understand, the last one available. So a little daunting there, but it is a new one from them. But you can see we've got the jig here set up on the side of the transmission. So these are your shift selector forks. So what that does is you have a selector rod in the case of the cover, which is actuated by the actuator here. And if this were a gated manual car, the shifter would be up here, and it would essentially do the same thing. What we were seeing is that the actuator had knocked all of the forks out of adjustment, which can happen. So what that was doing is when the actuator went to go shift and try and do what's called a self-learn, is it felt resistance on the shift forks here, and refused to do a self-learn because it says, I'm not going to try and break anything, and we'll just quit there. So unfortunately that leaves your car undrivable. So what we do here is set up the alignment jig so that you can set all the tolerances on these shift forks, or teeth as Lamborghini calls them. And you have your in-out adjustment. You can see the gap between here. There's some shims that go into there to set that. And then your alignment left to right, which is what you see here with this piece aligning all of them in place. So once that's done, we also do have a special tool somewhere which aligns the e-gear actuator, which a lot of people do not have. And so that's just how tight these tolerances are, that it actually clamps around the actuator and lines it up to the transmission case to make sure everything is perfect. Because you just have feeler gauges on either side, you have that little bit of tolerance. And just that little amount being wrong will make these not shift or just do strange things. So unfortunately, this one had become the worst. And while on the subject of shift forks, as the Murciélagos in the last year or so have become you know, the people are starting to figure out the manual conversions, and they're kind of daunting or questionable in my mind, because there are a lot of differences in the e-gear transmission. Even though everyone says it is the same transmission, which essentially it is, a lot of things are different. And namely, one of those things are these teeth for the gear selector rods. They are different from an e-gear to a manual car, as well as the tolerances and everything here. So a lot of people are just, ripping these out and throwing a shifter on them and calling it good. Whereas, there's a whole different level of how deep you can go to actually make it proper. And a lot of the factory parts aren't available and so forth. So really, there's not a good way to make a proper 100% factory gated manual conversion car. So anyway, I digress. I'll leave that alone there. I'm not, super keen on it as of yet, because like I said, all that's not available. And, there's no way to really guarantee that it was done proper. People are cutting holes in the center console and so forth. We'll leave that there. So it has been a few days and we are back with the 09 LP640 Roadster. As you can see, it is running wonderful. It is amazing. It shifts. It does everything it's supposed to do, like a car should. It was a lot of work, but we got it done. And I know the client's going to be super happy that this one is fixed and shifting after, like I said, a couple years of it not behaving itself. And this being a super late Murci, an 09 model, has all the good updates and stuff and is a lot of fun. We're gonna go for a ride in just a moment, but just look at it. I know it's a little dirty. It came in on a trailer and it's been driven and checked. It still looks amazing. Just a very sinister look, especially as we came in and you saw that the bat wings were up and sucking in all the air, because that's what they are for. If you're not familiar with Murcis or some of our other videos, there's a radiator on this side and the radiator and condenser for the air conditioning on that side. And there's a couple different parameters that will open these bat wings, but one of them is exterior temperature and coolant temperature. But with it being as hot as it is here in North Georgia today, they come open so that they allow just that much extra air into that big monster 6.5 liter V12 to make sure it stays cool on a day like this, especially with it being black and sinister as it is. And this one is extra blacked because it has the side markers and the tail lights have been smoked, painted, whichever you want to call it. There are lots of names. And there you have the iconic 640 single outlet. And this does not have the factory exhaust. This has a 2B exhaust, adding to that sound that you just heard a moment ago. And just the black with the yellow calipers, beautiful car, carbon ceramic brakes. As you can saw when we came in, it stops quite well. At the end of the last clip, we were talking about the shift fork alignment and what all we had to do in order to get this one shifting. And we put it back in the car, did a self-learn. It is happy as can be, and we put some test miles on it. And today, we're gonna take y'all for a ride and show you, kind of dive a little more into that e-gear and conversion thing we were talking about earlier that I kind of said I'd hold off on. But we're gonna get back into that on the drive. So we'll do our best with the audio here between open roof and exhaust and all that stuff, but we'll see how it goes. You just can't beat that. I'll try and speak a little louder because it is hot too and we want some air conditioning. See, this one does have the fully tinted affair going on. So there we are. And this is the flappy paddle, as Jeremy Clarkson said back in the day, and I think he's wrong. I really like the flappy paddles. Not all of them, but Lamborghini got the software and the programming right, and they are quite good, especially this late model with the updated software and the Corsa mode, which makes things a little extra spicy. And this one is full manual. There's no automatic mode like in a Gallardo, so you are still fully engaged with the car, and we're in neutral now. Anytime I'm sitting still in a Murci, I like to leave it in neutral, just like if you were driving a gated one. You wouldn't sit there in first gear with your foot on the clutch, or at least I hope you wouldn't. But with that said, one pull of the paddle and you are in first gear. And off we go, just gentle throttle on takeoff until the clutch fully engages. And this one, I thought I may have to mess with the piss setting, and no, that's not the bathroom piss setting. That is the e-gear piss setting, or point of initial slip, which changes the bite point of the clutch. And from the factory, they have it set really high, but this one takes off at about 1500 RPM, which is about exactly where I like it. I don't mind if it's a little lower, but you sometimes start to get a little bucking, but it's better than slipping the clutch. Throw it into Corsa, and coming to a stop, I don't usually like to let it downshift itself. I'll just go ahead and bump it into neutral, which I've talked about this stuff before, but if you hadn't seen those videos, just a short recap there. And you can see your reverse button is actually off to the side over here, but it's worn off now, but that would be an R. And it is fully sequential, so you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But these systems, it's fully hydraulic and super responsive. You know, this one we've got, you know, a fresh actuator and the accumulator, which keeps pressure in the system up. And that's a part of the, you know, fear or the hatred of the system is knowledge and tooling. Is people don't know how to drive it or to fix it or how to get it tuned properly, and or they don't have the tools because they are expensive. We've invested in a good few of them, and it does hurt a little bit, but in this case, you know, you get to do everything properly. And then it's just amazing, which we're going to share with y'all. Nice and gentle, and then you can feel the clutch fully engaged there. You can see as soon as I hit the paddle, something happens. It's super responsive. And the drama and excitement of this transmission setup is just something we will never see again with the sterile experience of a dual clutch. While fast and exciting in that way, it is not this. I'll show you a downshift there. You just don't get that in anything else. So good. And that is why I don't understand the conversions. Like, besides the fact that I talked about earlier, is that you can't get all the factory proper stuff, and that you have to cut holes in them, and it's just a bit of a mess. And we won't go too deep into that. Like I said, it's a mess. I'll leave it at that. It really is that good. And I think personally that, you know, as these continue to appreciate in value, people like myself, the first thing I'm going to do is look at the VIN, and you can see if it's an S for sequential, you could say, or M for manual gated. And if I see that it's an E-gear car and it's got a shifter in it, I'm out. You know, I'm not going to spend $300,000-$400,000 on a car to see that it's been modified. It makes sense for like rebuilt or salvage title cars and certain things like that, or less expensive, you know, automated manual cars, you know, like some of the 360s and 430s. I kind of get it, but it's still the same thing that, you know, a lot of the parts aren't factory, and I like things factory because they work better that way, especially with exotics. And as they age and again get more appreciated, people want the cars to be factory original and factory fresh. And as these transmissions have aged, it really harkens back to a nostalgic time period. And like I said, it gives you that driving engagement. Nice thing about a Lamborghini is I can fit my big old feet without having a third pedal. And the factory gated cars are special, you know, it's not to say anything against that, but they're all special. Now we're ready for the best part. Oh, so good. Is as good as it gets. Still, out of all the cars we've messed with, this is probably still at the top for me. People always ask, what is your two-car solution? And we'll say it's our two-car toy solution, because us car guys can't just have two cars. But we can have two fun cars and then our daily, but it would be this and a 360. That is definitely the two-car solution for me. The more I drive these, the more I fall in love with them. We work on them, and you know, they can be a headache sometimes, but totally worth it. And just that, when you're banging off gears at 8,400 RPM, there's really nothing like it. And of course, this one, you get the wind in your hair, or what's left of it in my case. And it's the best way to experience an exotic car, is with no roof and all the noise.
That noise is just intoxicating.
So there it is, another fixed Murcielago from us here at DC Motorwerks. If you like what you see here or you have an old Lamborghini you'd like some help with, give us a call, shoot us a text. We have all our info up and available. We love talking cars. We love Lamborghinis. We love all the car guy stuff. It's kind of what makes us different in our industry, is that we are car guys doing business instead of numbers people doing business, but I digress. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and we'll see you on the next one.